Yo, how's it going everybody? It's MacklinGaming, and today I'm going to be making the same video that pretty much every other YouTuber is going to be making, and that's because we have the first real, true confirmation about a huge feature for the next Nintendo Switch console, or the next Nintendo console, whatever they want to call it. They've finally given us one huge feature that is confirmed. They haven't spoken anything about this console yet. You know, there's tons of YouTubers out there that make a living doing Switch 2 videos, but they're all leaks or rumors, right? We don't know if they're even true, but this is the first one. That's why this is my first Switch 2 video, because, you know, I don't like to do rumors or leaks really at all. So this is a game-changing feature that everyone was hoping would be true, and finally we got that confirmation. So let me just show you what it is. All right, we're taking a look at the Nintendo company's official Twitter or X page. And yes, we got another post. This is Furukawa. Sorry, this is a little small for you guys. This is Furukawa. At today's corporate management policy briefing, we announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. What does that mean? Backwards compatibility is confirmed. That's massive. I mean, for so many Nintendo Switch players that have accumulated a huge library of games, and I'll show you my collection in a minute. Let me just finish reading this tweet. Nintendo Switch Online will be available on the successor to the Nintendo Switch as well. Further information about that successor to the Nintendo Switch, including its compatibility with Switch, will be announced at a later date. So it's telling you that online service is going to continue, so that means all the SNES, what did they put, Genesis on there, N64 games, like that's going to carry on to the next system. That's huge for all the online players. So let's take a look at the comments and see the reactions that people are having. Jeff Keighley, he's up there at the top. Furukawa-san, thank you for this update. Jeff, I can't wait to get into another video coming up shortly this month, talking about Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, and I'll do predictions and nominees, but that's for another video. Switch 2 actually exists. Yeah, this is them kind of confirming that. Physical or digital or both? It's gonna be both. Digital and physical games will work. I mean, that would be crazy if they like didn't put the little cartridge slot in the next system. It should definitely be there. So everyone's saying thank you, Mr. President. Not the president we just elected last night. No, this is Furukawa, the legend himself. So it's just one little short tweet, but it has such a bombshell of information that people are going to be so thrilled that it's confirmed, right? So, I mean, look at my physical collection. I might drop it. It's crazy. This is not even all of it. Got all these games. I got more right next to it. I mean, this library that I've accumulated over 8 years will live on through the next generation. And that's huge because, I mean, there's so many amazing games on the Switch. It has, like, you could argue one of the best libraries, if not the best games library of any system ever. You know, the PS2, I think, is way up there as well. So this is just huge. I'm super excited. Everyone's gonna be excited about this. So there's a few other questions that we have to ask though. Like, I'm gonna start speculating about what games are gonna work even better and be improved through backwards compatibility on the next Switch, right? So the first one that comes to mind is Scarlet and Violet. See if I can find that. Oh, you know what? No, I left the double pack. Double pack's in my collection room. Look for that video on my page. I have a collection room video. But anyways, I don't have the physical copy of my Violet around. But I really think Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will benefit almost the most as far as a game that I really want to play with like smoother frame rate on the next Switch. Backwards compat. I don't know if that's something that they'll have to go back and update the game for, you know, and I'll get to that in a second. But, you know, I'm thinking about Scarlet and Violet. I'm thinking about Tears of the Kingdom, which is like capped at 30 frames per second, you know, and even that will dip, especially when you use the Ultra Hand feature. So can this just be a perfectly smooth, locked frame rate on the next system? I'm sure it will, honestly. And then, you know, even Echoes of Wisdom, like I talked about in my review, has that really janky frame rate dip. It goes from like 30 to 60, 30 to 60. and maybe somewhere in between, you know, depending on where you are in the map. So there's so many Switch games that are great games, but they really are lacking in the, you know, performance area, right? They're just playing with bad frame rate. And that's like my defense to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Those are really enjoyable games. They just were really like janky with the frame rate and buggy at first, right? I think the bugs have been fixed for the most part, but that frame rate needs to be smoothed out, right? So I'm very excited to pop that game in to the next console. I think that will be the first game that I pop in. So let me talk about the idea of developers having to update the games to work better through backwards compatibility on the next Switch system. So the games I mentioned just before, and you're seeing gameplay footage of, these are games that just have dipping frame rates, right? Bad performance. But if they're used on the next system, they should be, in theory, like a locked frame rate, right? But if there's games that want to exceed the frame rate and the resolution that they're capped at on the Nintendo Switch, and they want to go farther on the next Switch console, developers might have to go back and update those games, right? So they might have to like remove the 30 FPS cap and try to get a 60 FPS cap or something, right? These games are running at like 720 to 1080p mostly. Most Switch games do. And so like maybe they can develop like a 4K resolution for the games. Like, I don't know if they're gonna do that, but I hope they do. Otherwise, they might just have to re-release the game and we have to buy them all over again, you know, like Breath of the Wild, 4K. It's like, I would rather they just update it, right? And move along, make new games. So the possibilities are endless with all these Switch games. Think about all the games you've been playing and like which ones you wanna see in like a beautiful 4K, 60 FPS. Right? Not that all of them will be able to do that on the next console, but I feel like a lot of them can. So it's just a super exciting time right now, right? What games do you want to see running on backwards compatibility on the next system? And what games are you going to pop in first to your Switch 2 console or whatever they call it? Because I think I'm going to pop in Violet first and see if that runs any better. And you know, from there, I'll just check out the Zeldas, and, you know, the Mario games always run really smooth, and I'll just take a look over at my other games like Metroid Prime Remastered. Such a smooth 60 frames already. Same with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, these games are, you know, neat, but I'm sure there's a ton of third-party games that will benefit as well. Games that, like, I usually collect the Switch first-party games, Nintendo first-party. But there's a lot of third-party games that, you know, just don't run that well on the Switch. They tried to like cram it onto the system, but I'm sure those will benefit too. So it's a great time, very exciting. Let me know what you guys think about this backwards compatibility. Are you hyped? Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.